The Cleveland Browns facility is absolute pandemonium right now. And what we're watching might be the most jaw-dropping, head-spinning quarterback controversy in NFL history. While rookie sensation Dillon Gabriel is struggling just to remain upright during practice reps, Shedeur Sanders is out there dropping precision missiles to Jerry Jeudy like he already sees the starting job. And the entire coaching staff is acting like he doesn't even exist. I'm not exaggerating. This is a full-scale organizational implosion unfolding in real time. And yes, we've got every bit of evidence. Let me paint the picture of what's happening in Cleveland, because this situation has more layers than your grandmother's legendary lasagna. We've got viral practice footage. We've got coaches inventing excuses. We've got reporters doing investigative work that would make Woodward and Bernstein clap from the heavens. And we've got Shedeur Sanders trapped in the middle of what might be the most dysfunctional franchise scenarios since, well, the last Browns quarterback disaster, Mary Kay. Cabot, bless her, has practically turned into a one-woman Shedeur Sanders scout team. She's supposed to cover the Browns professionally, yet she's out here sneaking footage of Shedeur's reps like she's filming a documentary about Area 51. And honestly, we love it because the footage is gold tier. The clip that detonated across social media shows Shedeur throwing absolute guided lasers too. Jeudy passes so crisp they should be sponsored by a potato chip company. Watch it carefully, and you'll see everything you need to understand why Browns fans are losing their minds. Shedeur's footwork is flawless. His throwing mechanics are textbook, and those passes, chef's kiss. Perfect spirals with velocity. Accuracy and placement, that would make Aaron Rodgers nod with respect. And Jerry Jeudy, the Browns' best receivers, hauling in these darts like even he knows the kid is different now. Here's where things get spicy. While Shedeur is out there, looking like the second coming of Drew Brees, Dillon Gabriel is getting shoved around by equipment managers. No, that's not hyperbole. There is actual footage of Gabriel nearly being knocked off balance by a random person walking past him. Not a linebacker, not a defensive tackle. Just a regular human strolling by at a normal pace. Social media is roasting this man alive. One fan summarized the Gabriel experience perfectly. Dillon has plenty of experience with those 5-yard checkdowns. No need to practice, he already throws 10 to 30 of them per game. Harsh, but painfully accurate. Gabriel's college film and early NFL reps tell the same story. Safe throws, minimal risk, maximum boredom. He's the quarterback equivalent of ordering plain vanilla ice cream at a shop with 50 flavors. Nothing wrong with it, but why? Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Or more accurately, the coaching staff pretending elephants don't exist. Kevin, Stefanski and his crew have spent the last week and a half doing something truly bizarre. They have stopped saying Shedeur Sanders' name entirely. Not in interviews, not in pressers, not in passing, nowhere. Tony Rizzo from ESPN Cleveland went back through 8 different press conferences. Not once did Stefanski mention Shedeur by name. Think about how unhinged that is. This is a quarterback on your roster, a potential franchise cornerstone, and the head coach is treating him like Voldemort. He who must not be named is wearing no, too. And throwing lasers. And then you have offensive coordinator Tommy Rees, who jumped onto the excuse train and spent what felt like 17 straight hours defending Dillon Gabriel, pulling every justification out of thin air, simultaneously refusing to acknowledge Shedeur exists, but now the Cleveland media has officially reached its breaking point. Tony Rizzo has been on a scorched earth rampage, and his commentary is must-watch television. The man is articulating exactly what Browns fans have felt in their bones but couldn't quite express. Rizzo dropped the line that sent shockwaves through Cleveland sports radio. Once your coach starts not making sense, it's the beginning of the end. That's not some click-chasing, hot-take artist. That's a seasoned Cleveland journalist who survived every Browns disaster imaginable land, he's telling you. Something is fundamentally broken inside that building. Rizzo even suggested Stefanski may have reached the I don't care anymore stage of his tenure. Rizzo didn't just stop at criticism, he went even further. suggesting that Kevin Stefanski might have reached the "I don't care anymore" phase of his coaching tenure. You know that point where someone is so exhausted, so mentally checked out, that they're practically daring their boss to fire them? That's the exact energy Rizzo says he feels radiating off Stefanski right now. And honestly, when you examine the decisions being made, everything lines up. The quarterback management alone is coaching malpractice. You've got a young, gifted, unflappable talent in Shedeur Sanders, poised, mature, armed with elite-level velocity, and he's not even getting a legitimate opportunity. Meanwhile, Dillon Gabriel is out here taking sacks in critical moments like it's part of the job description. Let's break down the game. Situations Rizzo highlighted, because they are utterly damning. 4th, and -1. Game on the line. What does Dillon Gabriel do? Takes a sack instead of simply handing the ball to Quinshon Judkins for a walk-in first down. End of the first half. 12 seconds remaining. No timeouts. In field goal range. What does Gabriel do? Takes another sack and nearly erases a guaranteed 3 points. The Browns were saved only because the field goal unit sprinted onto the field and Will Reichard were drilled a miracle kick with seconds to spare. These aren't just rookie mistakes. Well, they're rookie mistakes, but that's the entire problem. Dillon Gabriel is making exactly the kind of errors you'd expect from someone nowhere near ready for prime time. Yet the coaching staff continues to live and die with him. While treating Shedeur like he ran over someone's mailbox, the entire situation reeks of something. Deeper something behind the scenes the public hasn't been allowed to see. Rizzo and his co-hosts spent a huge chunk of their broadcast theorizing about what could possibly explain this bizarre behavior. One theory: Stefanski got paid last year and might be. It's financially secure enough that he's willing to go down with the ship on his terms rather than adjust. Another theory: there's real friction between the coaching staff and Shedeur's camp. Though what that tension is rooted in remains completely unclear. Whatever the reason, the optics are atrocious for Cleveland. Right now, the secrecy inside that building is suffocating. Press conferences have become painful exercises in evasion. Stefanski has gone full Belichick mode, except without the championships to justify the cryptic responses. As Rizzo perfectly put it, he's just Belichick with a better publicist. Same evasiveness. Just younger and nicer looking while he says nothing. When your comparisons to Bill Belichick revolve solely around being difficult, with the media not around winning football games, that's a massive red flag. It's up and deep, foundational, structural is broken inside that facility. Even the media members, who usually stay loyal to the organization, are starting to pull the curtains back. Rizzo literally joked that he's ready to sneak into the Browns facility inside. It's a laundry barrel if that's what it takes to discover what's really going on. That's the level of frustration we're dealing with. When journalists are making Mission Impossible references just to cover your team, you've got a crisis now. Let's talk about Shedeur's response to all this madness, because the young man is handling this circus with remarkable poise and maturity. In a recent interview, Shedeur opened up about his growth both on and off the field. His comments are extremely revealing if you read between the lines. He talked about learning to navigate difficult situations, about understanding leadership, most tellingly, about keeping his personality slimmer, because not everyone understands it. Think about what that really means. This is a naturally charismatic, confident, playful, 23-year-old quarterback being told, implicitly or explicitly, to tone himself down. Why? For whom? The whole thing smells off. And when asked about criticism from certain corners of the media, Shedeur's response was flawless. He's just trying to start something. We're not on negativity anymore, man. I'm here to stay positive. I don't speak on anything negative. That's the new wave. That's a young man refusing to feed the drama, refusing to take the bait, refusing to let negativity derail him. He's showing more maturity than coaches 3 times his age while simultaneously launching missiles on the practice field every chance he gets. And that's what makes all this so maddening for Browns fans. They can see what Shedeur brings. Every leaked clip, every throw on camera, every interaction with teammates, every display of arm strength, leadership, and football IQ, everything screams franchise quarterback. The talent is undeniable. The leadership is obvious. The football mind is sharp. The potential is sky-high. Yet somehow, inexplicably, he still can't get on the field. Meanwhile, Gabriel is out here looking like he's auditioning for a Fragile Bones pharmaceutical commercial. The man nearly got knocked over by someone who wasn't sprinting, wasn't charging, just existing in the same physical space. How is this the guy the coaching staff has chosen to tether their job security to? What exactly are they seeing behind closed doors that convinces them Gabriel deserves the nod over Sanders? Because from every angle available to the public, the decision makes zero logical sense. The Jerry Jeudy connection only deepens the mystery. Jeudy is Cleveland's most naturally gifted receiver, a guy who arrived from Denver with major expectations. He knows exactly what good quarterback play looks like. He's worked with Russell Wilson and other capable starters. The fact that he's spending extensive reps with Shedeur, and you can visibly see the chemistry growing, that is not accidental. Receivers understand quarterbacks better than anyone on earth. They can smell greatness instantly. Jeudy clearly sees something different in Shedeur Sanders. Now let's zoom out and look at the broader context. Because this circus isn't happening in isolation. The Cleveland Browns have been searching for a real franchise quarterback since returning in 1999. That's 25 years of wandering in the wilderness. They've drafted quarterbacks high. They've signed veterans. They've tried rebuilding projects. They've tried reclamation projects. Nothing, absolutely nothing has worked. The list of failed Browns quarterbacks reads like a graveyard of shattered expectations. Tim Couch, Brady Quinn, Brandon Weeden, Johnny Manziel, Cody Kessler, Deshaun Kaiser, Baker Mayfield, and, most recently, Deshaun Watson now, finally. Cleveland has a quarterback with true pedigrees, someone who excelled at Colorado under the brightest spotlight in college football, and they're treating him like he's radioactive. It's the most Cleveland Browns thing ever, and fans are rightfully losing their minds. Social media is on fire. Browns fans are divided into factions. The Shedeur loyalists demanding he start immediately. The Gabriel defenders clinging to hope he needs more time. The Doom crowd who have checked out completely and are already prepping for next season. The Shedeur truthers have been especially relentless, posting highlight compilations, breaking down his mechanics, comparing his stats to other successful NFL quarterbacks, building an airtight case for why he should already be QB1. And honestly, they're not wrong when you turn on Shedeur's college tape. You see a quarterback who processes quickly, goes through full field reads, isn't afraid to launch the ball deep, and carries that rare it factor you simply cannot coach. His performances against Nebraska, USC, and other top programs showed a player who thrives under pressure. That's exactly what Cleveland needs, and exactly what they're ignoring. The timing of all this chaos is suspect too. The Browns are approaching a pivotal moment in the season. Their playoff hopes are slim, but not dead. This is the point in a year where coaches typically shake things up. Try something bold, inject life into a stagnant offense, yet Cleveland is choosing to roll with the same stale formula, producing the same stale results. It's infuriating from an outsider's perspective, so imagine how fans, who pour their heart's money and sanity into this team, must be feeling. Tommy Rees' press conference earlier this week was especially revealing. The offensive coordinator spent what felt like an eternity defending Gabriel's decision-making, his processing speed, his accuracy on underneath throws, basically every area except his inability to avoid drive-killing sacks. When reporters finally mentioned Shedeur's name, Rees' demeanor shifted instantly. He dodged questions, offered hollow answers, and pivoted away from the topic faster than a politician under subpoena. The contrast was glaring, and everyone, media and fans alike, noticed that behavior like this usually indicates one of three things. Something is happening behind the scenes with the player that hasn't gone public yet. The coaching staff has a philosophical disagreement about Shedeur's readiness. There is external pressure from ownership or the front office influencing the dynamic, with the Browns' long, illustrious history of dysfunction. Any of these explanations is entirely believable. What makes all of this even more baffling is the reality of Cleveland's situation. They're not sitting at 8-2 with a division lead. They're not protecting playoff positioning. They're not safeguarding a veteran star. They're struggling, fighting for relevance, desperate for a spark. This is exactly the type of moment where a coaching staff usually rolls the dice on the high upside player. Instead, they're playing it safe with the lost ceiling option, while the crowd favorite laser-armed talent stands on the sideline watching it all burn. The leadership is obvious. The football mind is sharp, and the potential is sky-high. Yet somehow, inexplicably, he still can't get on the field. Meanwhile, the guy with undeniable star potential continues to watch from the sideline. The practice footage that keeps surfacing tells the truth. The box scores and press conferences can't hide. You could see Shedeur's confidence the way he commands a huddle, even in a simple walkthrough. How receivers naturally gravitate toward him, how the energy around him changes. These are the intangibles that define great quarterbacks. Yes, the arm strength is obvious. Yes, the accuracy jumps off the screen. But it's the leadership presence, the poise, the composure, those are what truly separate him. This is a young man raised in football. Royalty, a quarterback groomed from childhood for the biggest stages, and he carries himself like someone who fully understands the moment. Now contrast that with Gabriel, who often looks hesitant, unsure, and lacking the command presence elite quarterbacks need. He's making critical errors under pressure, errors that have cost the Browns possessions, points, and momentum. These aren't personal attacks on Gabriel. He was a productive college player and thrived at Oklahoma. But right now, with this roster, in this situation, he simply does not look like the answer yet. The coaching staff seems absolutely determined to convince the world otherwise, even as mountains of evidence pile up against that idea. Browns fans are hitting a breaking point with all of this. After decades of quarterback instability, false promises, wrong decisions, and outright incompetence, this fan base is done with illusions. They want answers. They want accountability. They want transparency. And above all, they want the quarterback who gives them the best chance to win, right now. Based on every visible shred of information, that quarterback is Shedeur Sanders. What happens next could shape the future of this franchise for years to come. If Cleveland refuses to play Shedeur, stubbornly sticks with the current plan, and the season spirals into yet another disappointment, there will be consequences, real consequences. Kevin Stefanski's once rock-solid job security is suddenly under the microscope. Tommy Rees, in year one as offensive coordinator, is already catching heat for how he's managing this quarterback room. And the front office will be forced to answer for drafting players they refuse to use. For Shedeur Sanders personally, this is a defining moment early in his career. How he handles this adversity, staying prepared, maintaining his professionalism, being ready when his opportunity arrives, will speak volumes. And so far, he's handling it like a seasoned veteran. His interviews show maturity. His refusal to feed drama or negativity reveals discipline. Everything about him screams future leader. The entire situation feels like it's building toward an inevitable moment at some point, whether through injury, poor performance, or organizational pressure. Shedeur Sanders is going to get his shot. And when that moment arrives, the entire football world will watch closely to see if the Browns have been committing one of the worst quarterback miscalculations in recent NFL memory by keeping him benched. The practice footage suggests they have been. The coaching staff's bizarre behavior suggests something deeper is going on. And Browns fans are stuck in the middle, wondering why this team keeps tripping over its own feet. This is the kind of storyline that makes the NFL both thrilling and maddening. We are watching real-time organizational dysfunction with real consequences for careers, for futures, for the hopes of a tortured fan base. The talent is there. The opportunity is right in front of them. All that's missing is the coaching staff's willingness to pull the trigger and see what they truly have in Shedeur Sanders. As this saga unfolds, expect the pressure to crank up on Cleveland's decision-makers. Every interception Gabriel throws, every sack he takes, every loss the Browns suffer will only amplify the demand for change. The viral footage of Shedeur firing precision strikes to Jerry Jeudy isn't disappearing. It's going to be replayed, dissected, and used as Exhibit A in the case for why he should be the starting quarterback. The clock is ticking for Kevin Stefanski and his staff to get this right. One thing is absolutely certain. This story is far from over. We are watching the early stages of something that will either vindicate the coaching staff's mysterious patience or expose it as one of the most baffling quarterback decisions in modern Browns history. And with this franchise's infamous quarterback record, it's not saying something. The football world is glued to Cleveland right now, waiting to see what comes next, and secretly expecting the chaos that always seems to follow this franchise. Thank you guys. See you next video.